what's frustrating to me, and this is where I get back to, I think Republicans blew it on this, and I think Democrats maybe blew it more so. When Republicans had an opportunity to address the cost of health care, to get some real lawsuit abuse reform, get some portability so people can have access and take care with them if their job moves or their family moves. There's things that we could have done in a bipartisan way to make a real difference here, and it didn't happen. So my commitment is we need to get rid of what we've got. That 1099 is absolutely wrong. What does that have to do with health care? Right? That's just wrong. And then the additional taxes that come on top of that. And so many things, the impact happens right away where we start paying for it, but don't see any real benefits for years to come, a couple years to come. So I would like to say, let's repeal it, let's replace it with things that really can have an impact for good, addressing the cost of healthcare, making sure that we still have great options in choosing who our medical provider is going to be, having that relationship between doctor and patient, not putting a bureaucrat between me and my doctor. I don't want that. I want that relationship with my doctor. I want them to be able to help me make good decisions for my own care. So that's really my commitment going forward. So much of what we actually can do, and I think that's the other question is, what can we do? It's passed. Once something's passed and signed by the president, it's law. But there's still things that we can do. And so much of it depends on the results of the election on November 2nd. If nothing changes, so if every incumbent gets reelected who voted for health care, this just continues, I think, like it is. I don't see any real changes happening there. If there's one person who changes, let's say I get elected, I'm going to be a strong voice for you, fighting for real change, making sure that we're taking into account business owners, job creators, the impact that this is having on you and your ability to continue to do your work and serve your business people, and do everything I possibly can to make real good changes. Next option, which I think really could happen, is that we have a 40-seat shift in the House of Representatives. 40 seats change the majority in the House of Representatives. What happens then is we have a change. Nancy Pelosi is no longer Speaker. We have someone hopefully who shares our Midwestern values, smaller government, opportunity, freedom, liberty, in that important leadership position. And then I think we can make some real changes. We can address funding for much of the provisions in the health care bill. Congress still has control of the purse strings, although they're refusing to budget this year. If we make these changes, that's not going to happen next year. That's going to be the first thing we do, is budget and make decisions of where your money is going to be spent and make sure we're accountable for that. And I still hold out hope. We saw it back in 1994 after there was a significant shift. President Clinton really changed his approach on many things and became much more willing to work together. And some good things happened as we worked together. I've served in the minority the entire time I've been down in Springfield. Never once have I been in the majority. So any piece of legislation that I've passed, I've had to have bipartisan support to get it passed. So I enjoy that work of let's come together, let's get good things done for the people that we represent. We're getting bipartisan votes on some of these bills, but it's all against the bill. It's unanimous, one-party votes for these bills. And that's not healthy for us. So I think that's the other thing, is if we can win back the House, we can have that check and balance once again. And my hope is that President Obama will work with all the people there to be able to clean this up, to change it significantly, and go after what I think is the real problem, which is the cost of healthcare and accessibility of healthcare. Long answer, sorry, but there's a lot of different things that could happen.
The next question has to do with the economy. And yesterday, House Minority Leader Boehner called for the resignation or for Obama to fire his economic team as a way to, I guess, change things, change the direction that things are going. Do you agree that that is something that should be done or needs to be done? And maybe mention a couple of other things that you think would work to help get the economy out of this funk that it's in.
Right. No, I do support that. I think we do need to make some real changes. There's pretty much a vote of no confidence right now with current leadership out there right now, as we see just stagnant, no real job growth, no real investment, no turnaround in this economy, just fluctuation. So I would support that. What I think we really need to do is I'm out there talking to business leaders. I was out in Henry County yesterday, had a wonderful day, meeting with Rotary out there, and also touring some different businesses. But I met with a man, just an impressive man, but just had an idea. He had worked, he was a machine shop guy for a lot of years, and his dad, or his father-in-law had some space in a basement area that was like low ceilings, like 6-foot ceilings, that was open. And he said, hey, why don't you, just buy this little used machine and see if you can do some machine shopping. Well, he did that, invested in that. Pretty soon he was able to buy another machine and hire somebody because he couldn't keep up with all the things that he was making. Pretty soon they wouldn't fit in this basement, this 6 split basement or whatever, so they had to get everything back out of there, and got his own space. Over the last 15 years, he's developed, he took me through his plant. He's got 12 employees now that are working for him. He just expanded his business and put his life savings into purchasing a new piece of manufacturing equipment. It was a used milling machine, $300,000 that he put to purchase this one machine, but his business is growing. But it's such a hurdle for him to be able to do that because of the uncertainty that he feels from Washington. And I'm so proud of him that he's investing in that. But I talk to so many other business leaders who are just holding on to any money that they have because they're just not sure how expensive healthcare is going to be, what new decisions bureaucrats are going to be making that are going to punish productivity. That needs to stop. I think as we start getting that certainty of shrinking the size of the federal government, getting some real reform in government, addressing all of these bureaucratic holes in the bills that have been passed out there, we can start building certainty back in so that businesses don't have to deal with the uncertainty and the paralyzing nature of uncertainty of government decisions, and instead can deal with business risk that they're used to dealing with. That they can make a determination of, okay, does it make sense for me to invest my life savings of $300,000 in this new machine? That's a business risk, and that's something he was more than willing to deal with, this gentleman that I met. But what he doesn't want to deal with, and it's so difficult for him to deal with, is 1,100 references in the healthcare bill that shall be determined